springs eternal in the human breast. But what happens when one loses all hope? Sometimes hope comes in the most unexpected ways. The Last Leaf by O. Henry. At the top of a 3-story brick in Washington Square, Sue and Johnsy had their studio. Johnsy was familiar for Joanna. They had met in Greenwich Village and had found their taste in art so congenial that the joint studio resulted. That was in May. In November, a cold, unseen stranger, whom the doctors called pneumonia, smote Johnsy with his icy fingers. One morning, the doctors invited Sue into the hallway. "She has 1 chance in 10, and that chance is for her to want to live. I will do all that science can accomplish." After the doctor had gone, Sue went into her workroom and cried. Then swaggered into Johnsy's room with her drawing board under her arm. Johnsy lay, her face toward the window. Johnsy's eyes were open wide, looking out the window and counting backward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. They're falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. It made my head ache to count them all. Now it's easy. There goes another one. There's only 5 now. When the last one falls, I must go too. Sue looked out the window. There was only a blank side of a brick house. An ivy vine climbed halfway up the brick wall. The cold breath of autumn had stricken its leaves from the vine. Its skeleton branches clung to the crumbling brick. "I've never heard of such nonsense. The doctor told me this morning that your chances for getting well were 10 to 1. There goes another. That leaves just 4. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will go too. Will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and to not look out the window until I've finished working? I must call Behrman up to be my model. Don't try to move till I come back." Behrman lived on the ground floor beneath them. He was past 60 and was a failure in art. 40 years he wielded the brush. He had always been about to paint a masterpiece, but had never yet begun it. For several years, he painted nothing. Now, he served as a model to those young artists who could not pay the price of a professional. Sue told him of Johnsy and how she feared she would float away when her slight hold upon the world grew weaker.
"Was? Is there people in the world with their foolishness to die because leaves they drop from a confounded vine? I have not heard of such a thing. Why do you allow that silly business to come into brain of her? Ah, poor little Miss Johnsy.
She is very ill and weak, and the fever has left her mind morbid and full of strange fancies."
Go on, I commit you. This is not any place in which one so good as Miss Johnsy shall lie sick. Someday I will paint a masterpiece, and we shall all go away. Yes.
Johnsy was sleeping when they went upstairs. Sue pulled the shade down to the windowsill and motioned Behrman into the other room. In there, they peered out the window fearfully at the ivy vine, then looked at each other for a moment without speaking. A persistent, cold rain was falling, mingled with snow. When Sue awoke the next morning, she found Johnsy with dull eyes staring up at the drawn shade. "Pull it up. I want to see." Wearily, Sue obeyed. But lo! Even after the rain and gusts of wind had endured through the night, there yet stood out against the brick wall one ivy leaf. "I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today, and I shall die at the same time." The day wore away, and even in the twilight they could see the lone ivy leaf clinging to its stem against the brick wall. With the coming of the night, the wind and the rain beat against the window. When it was light enough, the ivy leaf was still there. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at it, and then called to Sue. "Something has kept that ivy leaf there. It is a sin to want to die. You may bring me a little broth now." The doctor came in the afternoon.
"Even chances. With good nursing, you'll win. Now I must see to another patient I have downstairs. Behrman, his name is. Pneumonia, too. There is no hope for him, but he goes to the hospital today to be made more comfortable."
The next day, Sue came to the bed where Johnsy lay. "I have something to tell you. Behrman died of pneumonia today. He was ill only 2 days. The janitor found him in his room downstairs. His clothing and shoes were wet and icy cold. They couldn't imagine where he'd been on such a dreadful night. They found a lantern and a ladder and some scattered brushes and a palette with green and yellow colors mixed on it. And look out the window, dear, at the ivy leaf. Didn't you ever wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew? Oh, darling, he painted it. Behrman painted his masterpiece the night that the last leaf fell."